think we good. I think we good. I think we good. Think we good. What's up, y'all? What's popping? Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties we had a little bit earlier. Sometimes YouTube could just do YouTube things. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in each and every episode. Uh, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. I see the chat in here, nice and thick in the building. So let's get the show started with no further ado, y'all. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. This is episode 266. We're on every Sunday and every Wednesday. And again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Um, yeah, man. Let's thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get to find us some movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. And again, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Shout out to the chat in here, Dick, and engaging already. Appreciate y'all for tapping. And shout out to my dog Tremont. Shout out to Hazel, Ashley in chat. Shout out to King P. Something happened with the last link, Brody. Yep. Shout out to Ebony in the building. Shout out to Winter in the building. The loyal crew still in here. Shout out to Alana in the building. Shout out to Shay. And shout out to, uh, I don't know that one. I might go about it. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. And remember, y'all, don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13,000. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week, and I drop videos daily, whether they're videos or whether they're shorts. Sometimes I drop both. Most of the time, I drop both, but continue to engage. I see the comments, and I do get in the comments and show love back. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. If you also want to reach me off of YouTube, you can hit me on my Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. So again, I thank y'all for tuning and tapping in, man. All right, y'all. With no further ado, first segment of the night: popular opinions. Remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions, y'all. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records. Stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. So again, make sure you go to OUV Records on Instagram and stay in tune. All right, y'all. First question of the night. And remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So again, stick to the answers in the questions. What's going on? All right. First question of the night. Your predictions on the NBA Finals. Your predictions on the NBA Finals. Number one, Knicks in 4. Number two, Knicks in 5. Number three, Knicks in 6. They have a good ring to it. Number 4, Spurs in 7. Again, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Your your predictions for the NBA Finals. Again, number 1, Knicks in 4. Number 2, Knicks in 5. Number 3, Knicks in 6. Number 4, Spurs in 7. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to hear your comments, and I would love to know your reasons, man. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, after the first 2 games, these have been wars. These games have been like literally wars. They're battling. People have the notion of, Cat is killing Wimby. No, he's not. They're battling. It's a battle. And the reason why it seems like Cat is killing Wimby is because he's winning on critical plays, plays that you normally see Wimby win. but let's not be ridiculous, okay? Wemby is still averaging about 28 points a game. He's still averaging about 10 rebounds a game. Let's not get let's not get crazy here. Cat is playing very well. For those who don't know, Karl-Anthony Towns, aka the Big Bodega, Cat, right? AKA Cat, right? Karl-Anthony Towns. He has been playing well. He's been playing very aggressive, and it's all in between the lines, offensively and defensively. Honestly, I think this is the most that we've seen from Cat as far as his output mixed with his emotion and knowing what the team need. Now, I've been on the record. I didn't think the Knicks had a chance mainly because nobody would tell Cat to play in the post. And I said the Knicks would not smell the championship until Cat plays in the post. Guess what? He's been playing in the post, and he's been defending in the post, and he's also been getting his buckets in the post. Of course, he's going to hit his, couple threes a game, but he's been playing very well, very efficient. He's not putting up a lot of shots. He's playing very efficient, and he's battling. So for those who have the narrative, oh no, he killing. No, he's not killing him. They're battling. You played at the park before. If somebody has more points than you in rebounds or a better overall game, and you had a good game as well, that's a battle. It's not one sided. Wemby's not killing Cat, and Cat is not killing Wemby. It's a battle. It's the finals. It's supposed to be. So with that being said, the emotions is running high. I'm born and raised from Brooklyn. I know. In New York City, emotions is running very high. The city at this point in time is putting all their energy, all their love into the New York Knicks, like Dragon Ball Z when Goku needs the spirit bomb. That's how it feels when it comes to the New York Knicks. But the only problem is it's very hard to sustain that type of energy. Let's be real. If Wimby would have hit the shot, which he didn't, it would have been 1-up. So now the emotions get even higher. So that's why I even mentioned that. It's not the fact that the Knicks is up 2-0, is that the emotion of them being up 2-0 right now is very high. And they're winning by the skin of their teeth, to be honest with you. I mean, they're losing and then they come back. They're up and then San Antonio make their runs. These are two really good teams, and we're going to see runs. Me personally, if I'm going to make my prediction, I have to be honest. My basketball mind is going to make me say Knicks in 6, right? Like, honestly, it's going to make me say Knicks in 6. But because of the emotion of the Knicks right now, and it's not sustainable because now they're playing in New York, which is great. But the problem with them playing in New York, the people that's going to be in the stadium is casual fans. It'll be one thing if the rabid fans who could afford them damn tickets is in the building. It's casual fans in there. Some people will say, well, Spike Lee is going to be in there. You talking about 2 to maybe 3 hardcore real Knick fans. And then on top of it, Donald Trump is going to be at this game for game 3. I honestly believe he's going to take all the air out the room, and he's kind of going to kill the momentum. I'm just being honest. I feel like this, we haven't seen this before, but I feel like I've seen it. I'm coming back and letting y'all know what's basically going to happen moving forward. I do believe San Antonio do get game 3, and I do believe San Antonio gets game 4. I do believe this. I do believe when San Antonio goes back to San Antonio, it will be split 2-2. That's my belief. That's my belief. So, with that being said, my basketball mind make me want to go Knicks in 6. But I have to be honest, I believe that Spurs will win in 7. I really believe that. And if the Knicks win in 7, I wouldn't be surprised neither because the Knicks I don't want to say they're playing well, but they're getting through the tough spots and they're battling. They really battling. So the fact that they're up 2-0, because I'm from New York, because I'm from Brooklyn, I should say, I a part of me, I want to see the Knicks win. The last time the Knicks won the finals, the average rent in New York City was $175. Literally. I think it would be great for the NBA that the Knicks earned the right to win. And they've earned these last two games. They've earned it. They've earned it. Battle and all, they earned it. But this one is a close call. For me, it's either Knicks in 6, Spurs in 7. If I had to put my money up, I would say Knicks in 6. But tongue in cheek, I would say Spurs in 7. Just to be the one that's different, and if the Spurs do go to 7 games, I'm like, well, at least I call 7 games and next one. So also the chat, I'm seeing the chat going Knicks in 6. They saying Knicks in 6 in the chat. Knicks in 5. The energy's too high for the Knicks right now. Yeah, see, that's the thing. People don't realize in sports, when you have fans, the fans don't play the game. The athletes do. There's a thing called the wall. Your energy can hit the wall. And you're starting to see the Knicks players, they're better players, their energy hitting the wall. Now they're not rotational guys, but they're their role player guys are playing well. But can you bank on them continue to play well? I mean, for their benefit, I hope so. But again, this is probably the toughest one. But I know I'm gonna get a bad crowd reaction regarding this, but I don't care. I'm gonna say Spurs in 7. My basketball mom wants to go Knicks in 6, but I see the script. Game 3, San Antonio was gonna win. Game 4, San Antonio was gonna win. Game 3, the San Antonio Spurs were probably gonna win by like 5 or 6. Game 4, San Antonio Spurs will probably win by like 1 or 2 points. Game 5, the Knicks will probably win Game 5, or Spurs win Game 5, or Knicks win Game 6, and I believe it's going to go to Game 7. I really do. I really, really do. So that's what it is. So again, I'm going with Spurs in 7. In the chat, I'm seeing Knicks in 4 and Knicks in 5 and Knicks in 6. The rest of the world at 43%. Mind y'all, 183,000 people voted on this. I know I'm gonna get cursed out of the chat, but I don't care. It is what it is. This is sports, baby. 43% went with Knicks in 5. Y'all went with the gentleman's suite. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Shout out to my dog Tom in the building, my dog Biggs in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, Ash in chat. I got to say the first, Ashley, you gotta stay out of my closet, man. I got my Michigan hat on now. I got the new Michigan hat. Oh, that's fire. Okay. Okay, that sound fire. Got the gold, the excuse me, the maze. You know what I'm saying? The maze M. You know what I mean? I feel you on that. That's lit. I still got San Antonio. Now I got to get the yellow Michigan hat with the blue Michigan emblem. Yeah, that. Yeah. For some reason, I love the navy hats. Me personally, I had a chance to get the gold one, but I love the navy ones. But the gold ones is tough too. The gold ones is tough too. They got a gold cursive Michigan one that is fuego. But ain't nothing like the big M. You know what I'm saying? On that navy blue classic drink. My dog Pigs in the building. He said, "Yeah, I'm still riding with San Antonio Spurs and Las Vegas Knights." Yeah, people don't understand sports. And I know Nick fans is not going to want to hear that. They want to, they want to win this. They want either Knicks and they want to sweep it. They want to get this series done as soon as possible. I honestly believe that the Knicks will play like their hair's on fire in tomorrow's game, but that energy is not sustainable. It's not. There's just sports. Sports have something called momentum. And once you have it, you lean with it and rock with it. And then when it switches, it switches. It's something that it just when you've been around the game, it happens. So, hey man, I honestly hope that the Knicks make history, but I just believe it's gonna be Spurs in seven, man. I really do. I really, really do. I really and then what's crazy, look at the script. You got Donald Trump coming to the next game. The energy regarding that, the team, the San Antonio don't even look bothered. They don't even look worried that they down 2-0. They don't. Because honestly, if they win the next game, they right back in the series. So it's man, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Big facts. Once you have the momentum, it's hard to give it up. And the New York lose 2 games in New York to San Antonio. Watch out. Yes, momentum is serious, man. Momentum is a very serious thing in sports. People don't really understand that. Oh Lord, New York is trouble if Donald Trump ends up at the game and they lose. They're gonna be blaming Donald Trump for sure. They're gonna be blaming him for sure. My dog fam in the building. Appreciate you for tapping. Hit them likes. Hit the 100. You already know. Uh, it helps with the growth of the show. Ashley, I'm gonna get you Ohio. Nah, I don't need none of that. The only thing if you hand that to me, bro, you feel me? I might use it as toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? I won't, cause that's nasty as hell. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little Ohio hat, a little something. Where every time when we win, you know what I'm saying, I could make a video or something. That'll go hard. I appreciate my dog fam though. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that one thing I will say about my Ohio brothers that root for the Buckeye, right? One thing I can say about y'all diehard Ohio fans. I will say that, and it's much respect, honestly, because without us, there's no y'all, and without y'all, there's no us. I'm gonna keep. That would be the nicest thing you've ever hear me say about Ohio. The nicest. We need each other to be great because we push each other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, uh, Knicks is going to ride that momentum all the way for the sweep. My dog Patrick in the building, one of our mods, one of our day one. We will see, man. Honestly, like I said, I'm not a hater, right? I'm not a hater. I will say this. When it was the Brooklyn Nets turn, KD, Kyrie, we was making our way through the playoffs, New York was behind us. New York was behind us. I will say that for sure. I'm not a hater. Again, I'm just looking at what's going on in momentum. And the same thing with Brooklyn. Remember, when we was playing Milwaukee, we was busting that ass. But what happened? Harden gets hurt, and now Kyrie is gone. He's completely hurt. So now Harden basically playing on one leg, and Kyrie is hurt. And that momentum, it was just like, damn, right? We seen the same thing with the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors was up 3-1 on the Cavs, and Draymond Green was battling with LeBron. He was battling like he was killing. I ain't gonna hold you. He was killing. They was battling, but he was killing. What happens? He gets into some sort of fight. He kicked out the rest of the game. He got suspended for the next game. Game 7 come around. Cavs win the finals. Cavs win the damn finals. Momentum is real. Momentum is real. I will guarantee Knicks will sweep San Antonio. Shout out to my dog fam. Max B, French Montana, and Remy Ma has a song out right now. New York Knicks win the championship. The city will be playing that song the whole month. Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, the reason why they did the video because it was very strategic. I don't think they really care about the Knicks. It's strategic. They're gonna get the clicks. They're gonna be playing that song. It sounds like a New York song, but they don't care about that. They don't care about no. They don't care about them Knicks, man. I don't believe again, but it was great. It's a great marketing tool. It's a great marketing tool. Y'all gonna see OUV record hats with the Knicks colors soon. You know what I'm saying? It's a great marketing tool. You know what I mean? Because people love them colors. People love. You have people that love the Knicks. So, is the New York Knicks If the New York Knicks wins the championships, Max B and French Montana Remote will have championship New York Knicks video. Yeah, they got some sort of video now. You know what I mean? But I will say this: if the Knicks win the finals, it will be great for the NBA. Honestly, mainly because you have to have teams from the Mecca that win. Whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the Nets, we have to have teams that win. And the fact that we've been grossly, I don't want to say we, but I'm just saying as a native Brooklynite, New Yorker, that just for years on years, mind you, the Nets has only been in New York for what, 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. And they try to go for it majority of the times, then, tanking. This is the first time we've seen the Knicks be like legit, legit in a long time. They've been a franchise of ineptitude for a long time. This is their window. I said this last year. If the Knicks don't go to the finals, they'll never go. They'll miss their window, mainly because you had Tatum dealing with an injury, you had Halliburton dealing with injuries. I forget the other guy that was dealing with injuries, and then you had certain key players go over to the West. So it was the Knicks' time to go. They they better make this count. They have to make this count. They have to. And this is their best time to ever win. So I honestly believe that. KD, Kyrie, Harden picked the wrong New York team to join. Nah. They didn't. They didn't. They was not winning with y'all, bro. That we gotta stop that narrative. They went to Brooklyn because we're the cooler. Like y'all gotta understand something, right? New York loves the Knicks, right? And in this moment, I'm not gonna say too much because it's gonna sound crazy, but honestly, if you 40 and up, like you love the Knicks. And if you 40 and under or 39 and under, you roll with the Nets. It is what it is. KD Kyrie did not pick the wrong team. That's not do that. You see, you're gonna turn my support into like, yeah, I hope y'all bitch ass niggas lose. But I don't want to say that. I want to support y'all. It's always the Knicks fans. See, every time you try to support the Knicks fans, they always try to throw dirt on the Nets. You know what I'm saying? They didn't join the wrong team. They joined the right team because we could say the same thing about Carmelo and Amari, right? What do they do? Cancun Holiday. So let's not do that. The Brooklyn Nets, we went really far. We were just a circumstance of guys getting hurt. So let's not do that. If we're going to keep it fair, let's keep it fair. Let's keep it fair. All right, let's do that. But what are you saying? How much New York Knicks fans? What you saying? What you saying to how much Knick fans are in America? It's a lot of Knick fans in America. It'd be more Knick fans in certain arenas than the other teams. That's for sure. Actually, it would be even greater for New York to bring people back to the city. I believe it's what NBA is trying to do. Places to the Yankees. Yeah, but you gotta understand the Knicks have been in New York City for a long time. So I understand the support of people that support the Knicks because they've been there for a long time. The Nets is a new team. New Jersey Nets should have stayed in New Jersey because it sounds better than the Brooklyn Nets. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We could have said that about a multitude of teams that's from other places and they in their city. Doesn't matter. They in Brooklyn. We got a team in Brooklyn. I don't care. I'm from Brooklyn. I support Brooklyn. That's it. That's it. Like we ain't gonna be no Brooklyn slander up here. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. Cause if we're gonna keep it a buck for the since Brooklyn has been in New York, we've been holding it down, with the exception for the last few years. Because what did we do? We only traded the best, some of the best players in the world, and we had to rebuild and we tanked, just like how the Knicks tanked for years and they rebuild. They brought some pieces in. So, see, supporting the Knicks is not a hard thing to do. It's just the fans. Anytime Manette fan try to support y'all, then y'all try to throw dirt. Like how you want our support, then you throw dirt? I'm gonna start cutting ass. Don't make me start cutting ass. I remember some of y'all started in fives, bro. Don't make me start cutting ass. Like, I don't even want to mention none of the players' names because that would be kind of low key disrespectful. But Knicks, y'all gotta keep it humby. Keep it humby. We want to support you. Keep it humby. Just like when we was on our run, a whole lot of Knicks fans was like, yeah, yo, I ain't gonna never see the Knicks win, so I might as well come over to Brooklyn side. Let's keep this humby. All right? See what I'm saying? Ashley, it would be great for New York to bring people back. To the Nets. Bro, I got this. You gotta agree. Bro, I got this. Agree with you. Nets suck. Yeah, Nets don't suck, bro. Chill. We are rebuilding. Yes. We tank. Just like how y'all tank. It's cool when y'all tank for 30 years. Now when we do it, oh, now it's all wrong. Now it's all wrong. When the Thunder tank, it was if you notice, all the teams that are good now, they tanked. Pistons, Thunder, Pacers. I remember when Boston tanked, Cleveland, all these teams tanked. Now y'all up a little bit. Now y'all done gained a few inches. Now y'all don't see. Now y'all don't see us. Now when we tank, oh, now y'all got all the smoke. Now we suck. Now, oh, all right, cool. Again, this is the same problem I had when Michigan won the finals, when we won the college football championship, when we won college basketball championship, right? Everybody said, "Oh yeah, y'all not gonna do this, that, and the third." And when we win, and I go outside, I'm like, "Damn, where everybody go? Like, what happened? Where y'all at though?" Well, my Chiefs, when we started winning the Super Bowl, it was like, "Yo, but we suck though." So I hope y'all keep that same energy when we retool and we come back. The same people that say we suck right now. When I stick my head back outside, it's gonna be quiet though. The streets gonna be like, "Nah, keep it humble, Ash." That's what y'all gonna say to me though. That's what y'all gonna say to me because y'all know I'm petty. Y'all know I'm King Petty. Y'all know this. I make signs on purpose to be King Petty. Y'all know this. You know what I'm saying? See, when I try to give y'all a little, yeah, support to the Knicks or whatever as a Net fan, I ain't trying to be a Knicks fan. Just like, yo, y'all New York, do y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Because again, when we was rocking out, all the Knicks fans, even Stephen A. Smith came on like, yo, New York City's officially a Brooklyn Nets town. The Stars chose Brooklyn Nets, and the Stars are still choosing the Brooklyn Nets quite as kept. All the stars y'all got to your team, they was all traded there outside of Brunson, who made himself a star on the Knicks. Remember when y'all got Brunson, y'all wasn't happy about him at all. Let's not do that. Y'all wasn't thinking Brunson. Let's not do that. So shout out to Brunson for turning y'all to what y'all basically is. Cause without him, that's keep it humby, Pat. Let's keep it humby. All the Knicks fans, y'all better keep it humby. Cause when y'all got Brunson, y'all was like, what? We paid him what? What are we? This is a terrible organization. So let's keep this humby. I know this stuff. Like, let's keep it humby. Uh, New York, Ashley is coming out. Let's go. Let them know Ashley is cool when they do. Uh, they got the problem because we are Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn forever. I'm raising my hands right now. I never said Brooklyn Nets suck. I said it like playing for a team, Cancun, because they are always in Cancun come play or now in the pack. It's easy to say the Nets suck now because we strategically we've been tanking. It's a strategic thing, but it's a great plan because all the teams who tank, like I just named, all are good now. The Knicks, Boston, Cleveland, the Indiana Pacers, the Pistons. The Pistons won like 18 games the year prior. The Thunder, all the top teams right now tanked. So now we get our tank on that. Now we suck now. When we traditionally had the better team in New York for a minute now. The more important, where all the stars wanted to go. But it's cool. Keep it cool. But again, the draft is coming up. Free agency is coming up. Again, when I duck my head outside, keep that same. That's all I gotta say. Keep that, because when my Michigan won, both football and basketball, my Chiefs, it get real quiet outside. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And when it's my Nets turn, keep that same energy. Feel me? Cause that's keep this real. When KD, Kyrie, and they was there, the Knicks never even won a game. But again, shout out to y'all. Do y'all thing. Again, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't hate. You can't diss us. You know what I'm saying? You can't. New York Knicks, New York Knicks block of fans are the most New York Knickerbocker fans is the most delusional fan base. That's a fact. More delusional than the Dallas Cowboys. But I get it though. One thing I do love about my native New Yorkers, when they support a team, when they support the Knicks. All right, so I said this last episode. Yo, New York Knicks fans is crazy. It's not enough that they will win. You can't even wear like another team jersey outside of Brooklyn in the vicinity, right? If you see somebody walking down the street, oh, you can't wear a Celtics jersey in New York. You can't. That comes right off. That's the one team that's like, yo, bro, you gotta take your jersey off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it. But any team in the time that they're playing them is up. I will say that for sure. When they was playing the Pacers last year, dude was trying to walk out. They ripped his jersey off. The 76ers, they ripping jersey off. They just wild disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough to win. You know what I mean? Uh I was happy when they got Brunson. I knew he was a winner. If you say that, I'll believe it. But you're not the whole fan base, bro. You know what I'm talking about, Pat. You know what I'm talking about, bro. Don't sit up here and act like majority of the fan base was not upset that y'all got Brunson when y'all got him and y'all paid him 100 million. Y'all was like, he's a good player, but he not indoor set all be all piece. And in fact, though, he's turned himself into the main piece. So the fact that you say he was a winner, I could believe that because he is a winner. If people don't know, Brunson won championships in college, but they didn't want Brunson. They wanted KD and Kyrie and Harden, but they chose Brooklyn. It just so happened that our guys got hurt on the run. Like y'all got to get over that. I remember that summer. Y'all was thinking about KD, Kyrie. Y'all was mad that y'all missed out on Zion. So I remember that summer, bro. Feel me? So yeah, I keep it humble. I'm not gonna allow no Brooklyn slander while y'all doing y'all thing. And again, I hope that y'all do y'all thing. Like it'll be different if I was a hater, but I'm not a hater. But you ain't gonna hate on my team neither. I ain't having that. The Nets, y'all better not piss me off come draft day. I've been hearing about not drafting a point guard or a guard at that sixth pick, and they talking about Nate Amint, I believe his name, the tall wing player from Tennessee. I think he's going to be, I root for all young guys, and I hope they all develop to be good. And if I say somebody's terrible, I hope they develop and can say, yo, Ash, I develop and I'm nicer than what you think, or whatever the case may be. I hope some guys prove me wrong because I'm not in the business of saying, like, yo, this guy, da 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 da, right? But he's not the best player available at that pick right now. Based on what we've seen, we got A Cuff sitting right there. I hope we go with Mikel Brown Jr. I prefer Mikel Brown Jr. 6'5", athletic. They said his efficiency is like Steph Curry. His efficiency rate. Ball handling through the roof, could pass through the roof, could shoot. He pulling up. He got in gym range. And he's athletic as hell. That's the guy I want the Brooklyn Nets to draft. People like, well, y'all got 5 point guards. So what? If you're not a Nets fan, just shut the hell up. That's the guy that we need because the guys that we got last year, hey man, it don't take long to see in the NBA if you cut the mustard, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Some guys will develop into being really great developmental players, but majority of the time, most guys don't develop into being the star. We only seen 2 stars, in my opinion, that are real legit NBA stars that was developed. Shea was developed. Brunson was developed. Everybody else, yo, we see it immediately whether this guy going to be a baller for real or they not. The guys we drafted last year, none of those guys are main pieces. The point that I make. So we got to draft our main piece. Let those guys that they develop be side dishes. But Mikel Brown Jr. I prefer. Secondly, I'm good with either way. We're going with Acuff or Keaton Wagler, but I believe it's Nate Ament. I believe that's his name. That's not the guy we should be drafting with our first pick at number 6. And if we do make it back into the draft, I still don't want him. Hey, Lindenborg. That's who I want. I want Mikel Brown Jr. and I want Lindenborg on the Nets team next year. I'll be cool with Amara too, but I want Lindenborg. With those 2 players, dog, a solid foundation, and y'all know we going after them in the free agency. There's some good players in the free agency. Hey man, y'all other teams better watch your best players. Cause we gonna make an offer so nice. You're gonna have to match it. You're gonna have to match it. Y'all gonna have to run one of those up. So I'm just saying, the Nets team y'all saw this past year, y'all won't see moving forward. Well, at least the Knicks reality is coming true. They are in a championship game, 2 games away. Dak Prescott hasn't been in the Super Bowl yet, and no Dallas Cowboy are still crying. Yeah, like I said, I have no problem supporting the New York Knicks. No, I have no problem doing that. I mean that wholeheartedly. But some of the fans, y'all ain't gonna be dissing my Nets while y'all getting my support. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to defend my Nets. But it's y'all moment. Y'all playing for the finals. I hope y'all win. But looking at the finals and understanding momentum, man, Spurs in 7, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But if y'all win, y'all win. The only thing I would have been wrong about if y'all win is I kept saying that the Brooklyn Nets was going to win the finals before y'all because we got better management, right? But if y'all win, I'm gonna come on here and say I was wrong and I apologize and congratulations. I have no problem doing that. That's easy. So, like I said, I wish the Knicks the best, but but the Knicks fans, y'all are something else. Well, and as far as the Cowboys, hey man, I just don't think they're gonna cut the mustard neither, bro. Every year the Cowboys supposed to win the Super Bowl. What? Yeah, nah. Honestly, I think Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback, but I don't think he's the quarterback that's going to get them to the Super Bowl and to win the Super Bowl. I just don't see him as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't. When the plays that he need when they need it, they come up short every time. When it's like, yo, when the game is over, he'll put up some great stats now, but when they need a play, yeah, I mean, and then mind you, Dak probably had one of the best years of his career last year. He played really well, and still, it was still. So, but Dallas draft pick, oh my God. They got them a player from Alabama, well, from Ohio. Caleb Downs, great player. He's a championship piece, but I don't think Dak is going to be the quarterback. I don't. I don't. Uh, we got the Nova Cats championship pedigree. Yeah, I mean, you do got the Nova team over there, but I'm just it's and for me, it's not Brunson. Brunson is a great player. It's not Brunson. It's the rest of the crew. It's the rest of the crew. And if the rest of the crew play well, the Knicks will win this series. If they don't, I'm gonna get into more of this Knicks thing too as well. My Giants will hand those Cowboys a loss week one Sunday night. Uh I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. The Giants is fool's gold, bro. I gotta be honest with you. I know I'm not supposed to say that. Yeah, I am. It's reality, right? They fool's gold, bro. They fool's gold. Their locker room is in shambles. They're in shambles. In shambles. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. They got some players on that team. I said last year, I thought the Giants was going to be way better last year. I honestly thought that. But again, I mean, y'all got the coach. Y'all got a legendary coach. Y'all missing a big piece in the middle with Dexter Lawrence, but y'all did good in the draft. Could have been better in the draft. I honestly believe if the Giants would have drafted Caleb Downs over the right tackle and went for a right tackle later in the draft or even the second round, because there was still some quality guys there in that second round, the Giants defense would have looked unreal with Caleb Downs. Because now you got the guys up front as far as pass rushers. You got a guy that could play in the middle like Caleb Downs. So now this makes life even easier for your corners. And that defense would have looked unreal. So the fact that the Cowboys got him, I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly believe that NFC East, it's even to me. Redskins, I got the Redskins at second. It's a toss up between the Cowboys and Giants, and the number one is the Eagles. I honestly have it that way. Eagles got that division. Secondly, Washington, especially if Daniels is healthy. Yeah, nobody else is seeing them in that division, to be honest with you. And it's a toss up between the Cowboys and the Giants. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But we're gonna see. That's the beautiful thing about football. The game is meant to be played. I don't care if you don't live in Seattle. There's no way that anybody predicted that the Seattle Seahawks was going to win the Super Bowl last year. There's no way. If you're not from Seattle and that's not your team, and somebody say, "Yeah, I predicted them to win," I do not believe you, not one iota. Do not believe you unless you're a Seattle Seahawk fan or you're from Seattle. If you're from New York or any other place, California, you'd be like, "Yeah, I knew they was gonna win." Bullshit, dog. Because the game is meant to be played. So, and the same thing with the Rams, right? They just get Miles Garrett. Defense is probably gonna look unreal. They trying to talk Aaron Donald to coming back. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. They better off playing without Aaron Donald, mainly because when you get a guy like Aaron Donald, which he would make the team better. But when teams, every time, well, in history, when the teams are like stacked on paper, teams like that always find a way to lose during the season. Doesn't matter what you do during the season, it's how you do in the playoffs. Aaron Donald, does he make the Rams better? Of course, it's Aaron Donald, Hall of Famer. But it's not necessarily Aaron Donald. It builds complacency Is the point that I'm making amongst the team. It's too much comfort, right? And nobody's playing tight and on edge. And honestly, their team the way it is right now is their best get. Right now, they're Super Bowl favorites. Right now, if they bring in a guy like Aaron Donald, is just going to build the expectation and the complacency amongst the team too high. And I think they will lose if they brought back Aaron Donald. But it would look scary though when the Rams is up, and you got to face a pass rush of Aaron Donald in the middle and Miles Garrett on the outside. That would be crazy because nobody could block them, so they would be super game wreckers. Uh, we got the Nova Cats. My dog Patrick, man. My Giants will hand those Cowboys a loss. So we got some Giants fans in the building. So he said my Cowboys fans. He said my Giants will hand the Cowboys the loss. I got tickets for Week 3 versus the Titans. Oh, that's gonna be a good game. That's going. I like Cardinal Tate. I don't know if I like him with the Titans though. I don't know if I like him with the Titans. I'm not gonna lie, but Cardinal Tate is nice. He's nice. See the thing with the Giants, it's their locker room. It's their locker room. That's what it boils down to. It's their locker room. It's their locker room. And we've been hearing things that's been said and going on in the locker room that doesn't make for great seasons. I know it's the beginning of the season. Y'all don't want to hear this, but when there's smoke, there's fire. When things are going on in the locker room and the players is more concerned with things going off on the field or off the field than on the field, it's not a good product. Not a good product. If I will predict way too early prediction, I'll say the Giants probably will go. And I'm saying this in all honesty. I'm not even gonna laugh or smile when I say this. I'll say that they'll go 7-9. No, they play 17 games now, if I'm not mistaken. So 7-10. I believe that. Yeah, yeah. Way too early, Cowboys. Excuse me. Philly, I'll say 12 games. They'll win 12 games. Washington, if Jaden is healthy, I'll say they get 10. Giants, 7. Cowboys. Oh, I don't know, man. It might be spooky hours. I'm just saying, because their team is still incomplete. Cowboys are still incomplete. They're still incomplete. But if you ask the team, they love the team. So, hey. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Favorite Prince song on this list? Favorite Prince song on this list? Number 1, I Would Die For You. Number 2, Diamonds and Pearls. Number 3, Little Red Corvette. Number 4, Mountains. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Every time we talk about Prince on the channel, everybody say they the biggest Prince fans, and every time I bring Prince up, like every single time, y'all don't be having like the OD answers for me, right? Let me know what y'all think about that in the show, because like I told y'all before, when I had the Michael Jackson and the Prince debate, right? And I said Michael Jackson is beloved mainly because the industry turned on Michael Jackson after he became Michael Jackson. When the industry turned on Michael Jackson, he was already Michael Jackson, and the fans beloved him. But Prince, he went after the business early. Prince is appreciated by people who are musicians and music lovers. We love Prince music, but the industry don't love Prince because he was attacking the very fabric of the music business. He was saying, "Yo, it doesn't make sense that I only get a certain amount of money and my CD is $15 and it's 3 times platinum." And he was on that immediately. That's why he went from Prince to being the artist formerly known as. So again, when y'all say y'all real Prince friends, I be wanting to know the real answers to these questions. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to I Am Asian in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Appreciate you for tapping in. And remember, y'all, if it's your first time tapping in, Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? I am Ashley Lovechild. episode 266. Hit the likes, hit the 100s on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13. Show that love. So I'm seeing diamonds and pearls. Diamonds and pearls. So again, the question is favorite Prince song, favorite Prince song on this list. Again, number one is Would You Die? Excuse me, Would Die for You. Number two, Diamonds and Pearls. Number three, Little Red Corvette. Number four, Mountains. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me, all these songs are great. All these songs are legendary. I have a real Prince playlist that I listen to on a very regular basis. I'm a real Prince fan. And all these songs on the list are fire. I Would Die for You, Chef's Kiss. Diamonds and Pearls, fire song. Little Red Corvette, classic. But for me, dog, if you know, you know. I'm going Mountains. Like for me, for those who know the song Mountains, I got Mountains on this list. So I'm going with Mountains. In the chat, I'm seeing in the chat, they went with Diamonds and Pearls on the chat. They saying I would die for you. So I got When Doves Cry. When Doves, he said when Doves Cry is my favorite. But it's not on the list though. It's not on. I love the video though. The video's fire when Doves Cry. They got the kaleidoscope rocking. You know what I'm saying? But Kiss is probably my favorite video though. Cause you know what I'm saying? He got the little chick, you know what I'm saying, playing the guitar, he dancing, busting wild moves with the little choke chain and the bell bottoms and the high heels, busting cartwheels and you know what I'm saying, sideway planks and all that. You know what I mean? But for me, on this list, I'm going with Mountains on this list. Adore, Adore is my my favorite Prince song. Adore. Uh, Again, fire songs, y'all, but they not on the playlist. They not on the playlist. So I'm seeing Diamonds and Pearls. I'm going with two, but I love Little Red Corvette as well. Diamonds and Pearls from the list. Okay, so majority is going with Diamonds and Pearls and Die for You. I'm going with Mountains. If you have never heard Mountains by Prince, go listen to it. It's fire. So I'm going with Mountains as well. Uh, 31,000 people voted on this. 37% went with I Would Die for You. Wow. 37% went with I Would Die for You. Not mad at that. It's a fire song, though. It's a fire song. The video is fire. It's like a concert video. Prince is known to do concert video styles, and they're fire. I Would Die for You. So all these songs is classics. Like, I'm just going to keep it a buck. All of these songs is classics. Diamonds and Pearls, the video, the song is fire. Little Red Corvette, it's a classic. Everybody know the dance. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that video. Classic. Mountains for me though. I still gotta go with Mountains for me. Mountains is Mountains. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good time every time for me. But I'm not mad at the choices, y'all. I Would Die for You. If you ever want a Prince concert like my sisters, that's all they came back. That's all they came back and was singing I Would Die for You. Yeah, I mean, like I said, all of these songs are like Prince top 20 songs is on another level. Prince, I, can you imagine if Prince and Michael Jackson were still alive and their verses would have been their best 20, right? And I'm pretty sure they would have did more like a celebration instead of like, yeah, my shit versus your shit type of thing. But think of the greatness that would have, you know what I'm saying? That would exude because Prince can perform. MJ can perform. So can you imagine Prince best 20 and Michael's best 20 on the same stage? Knowing them, they probably would create a song to perform together, like at the end, like they would do it, you know, each one of them would do their 20, and then at the very end, they got some new shit we ain't never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Together, collab, and it will be fire, right? So I wish these guys were still here, man. They was amazing artists, and we kind of like robbed of great, of more great music. Prince, what was one? Because hello, Prince would have would have won because he would have a live band and would have and been and would have went bonkers. Yeah, people don't give Prince his just due when it comes to performing. Prince could perform, dance, sing, playing live instruments while he's dancing and singing. You know he gonna sex up the ladies while he up there. Prince go hand me, you know what I'm saying? He got the live band rocking, you know what I mean? But that would have been a sight to behold. I don't know who would have won that because both of these guys are great performers. They're next level performers in my opinion. But I would just love to see it just for the greatness. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to appreciate the greatness. That's why I love sports because we get a chance to see greatness, and sometimes we take greatness for granted. Like as a kid, I grew up watching Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan was already Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He was already like that dude. I didn't get a chance to see young Michael Jordan, right? I grew up to like 91, 92 Michael Jordan, right? And I remember people would just watch the games to see if he's going to lose, right? Fast forward, LeBron James. People tune in to see LeBron James to lose, but he's a great player, right? Same thing with Kobe. I love the fact that it's a lot of revisionist history on Kobe because he's gone and people love him, which he should be beloved. But when he was around, people didn't have an outpour of love for Kobe like that. They didn't because Kobe, he came, yo, he ain't care about none of that. Like, yo, I came here to dunk on anybody that's in the rim at the rim. If your mother's under the rim, I'm dunking on her, bro. I don't care. It is what it is. He was a true competitor. But when we see greatness, we don't appreciate greatness when we see it, when we have it. You know what I mean? Like we take greatness for granted all the time and we tune in to see it lose, which is crazy to me. Right? So like we root against it. And I think most people root against greatness to see how far greatness could go. Like even with Floyd Mayweather. People tapping his Floyd Mayweather to see him lose. At least, when he was like, super active, in his time. People wasn't tuning into a Floyd Mayweather fight to see him win. They want to see the dude lose. So we gotta appreciate greatness while we have it. Um, there's a Netflix documentary about Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson verdict that recently aired. Not a good look for Michael. Yeah, I don't believe none of that. Me personally. Because again, I remember as a kid, and I remember when Michael Jackson was hot as fish grease. But the problem with Michael Jackson being as hot as fish grease is that he didn't just want to be an artist. He didn't just want to be an artist. He wanted to own everything. And that became a problem. And you didn't hear about none of this stuff until he wanted to own everything. That's what became the problem. Because let's keep it real. If Michael Jackson was doing what they say he was doing, when this Ben came out, Michael Jackson didn't get famous at 25. Michael Jackson been Michael Jackson since like 8, 9 years old. Let's keep this real. So when his behavior and the things that he did, when they came out way before that, when you have kids lined up from Gary, Indiana, say, yeah, like when we was kids, he did some weirdo stuff to me. You have kids in California talking about, yeah, when we was teenagers, he did some weird stuff around me, and so on and so forth. We didn't hear about none of that. We don't even hear about Michael Jackson being a grown ass man at Studio 54. We didn't even hear none of that. As the amount of stuff that used to go down in Studio 54. If y'all do y'all research on Studio 54 in New York, that was a club that was induced in a whole lot of coke, whole lot of partying with people. You go in the club, you see people getting it cracking in the club. And the club owner used to promote that type of environment. Then he had like the little white room where it was just celebrities. And I think he called it the white room because of the powder or whatever. And they were getting cracking in there. It was cool then. It was cool when Michael Jackson was hanging around all these adults. It was cool. Now all of a sudden, he's not just the biggest star in the world. Now it's a problem that he wants to own the company. And that's when you start hearing, oh, he got a touching kids problem. Yeah, bullshit. I don't believe none of that. But I hope when they do part two of the Michael Jackson movie, because I was very critical of part one, I hope when they do part two, I hope that they mention those cases because he has to tell, or the family has to tell the facts of what happened. And the facts of what happened, he was investigated by the FBI for 25 years. How many of what they said actually was true? Zero. Not one thing? Not one thing. All these accusations and now one of these things is true? Come on. FBI? Come on. When FBI on you, dog, FBI, they gonna find it. They gonna find something. They find nothing. Took pictures of this man, private areas, invaded his most sacred space under scrutiny. What, because he want to own some stuff? He wouldn't sell it back. And mind you, what makes it even more interesting, the company that wanted his masters and all his works is the company that own it now. And what's interesting, the company that owned it now, when Michael Jackson owned this stuff, it was a problem. Now that the company owned it now, all the artists that supposedly wanted to buy their stuff back from Michael Jackson or buy it from Michael Jackson, and it was a problem that Michael Jackson wouldn't sell it. You don't see them say anything. The fact that the company owns it, it's not a problem now. Like, oh, y'all got it back? Oh, they didn't ask to buy it back from that company. They kept it Humby and went home. But when Michael Jackson owned it, it was a problem. It was a problem. Because not only he got the attention of the kids all over the world, he got the attention of the adults. Because it's great music. He's an amazing dancer. He's positive. Have y'all really listened to a Michael Jackson song? He's talking about kids being homeless. He talking about people being homeless. He talking about kids not having nothing to eat. Is very few songs Michael Jackson is romancing your shorty. It's like a couple songs where he tell a girl like, "Yo, we should go to the park after dark." You know what I'm saying? Just us two. Let's go to France and just frolic. You know what I'm saying? That it's only like a couple, like a handful of songs Michael Jackson talking like that. Everything else, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better day. So let's start living. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, regardless of what the documentary is, y'all got to realize something. When it comes to documentaries, the families don't have to write off on documentaries because when somebody's a public figure, people could come up and say anything. They could create documentaries on whatever. Why do you think you see 50 Cent make so many documentaries or threaten to make documentaries? Because he can. Because when somebody's a public figure, people could say anything. They could say anything. The problem is if you have some money and you're speaking out of turn, then the estate or said artist can and will sue your ass if you have some money. Now, if you don't have any money and you're on your soapbox and you're saying a whole lot of lies, then you're going to get away with it because it's going to cost the person more money to pay lawyer fees than to sue your ass. See what happened to Chuck the Builder, right? They all that on lock, all that, right? And it's two different cases, but the point that I'm making is assets. That's why I brought up Chuck the Builder. It's because the assets. When somebody don't have enough assets, it doesn't make sense to sue them. Jaguar Wright, she says a whole lot of stuff. She don't got no money. You got no money, and that's why nobody sued. Everybody like, yo, why nobody sued her yet? She don't got no money. If she has some money, amount of stuff that she said about all these people, she has to have proof. And not only have to have proof, the proof has to be shown. You can't say I have proof and you don't show it. I have proof though, y'all. But you gotta show it because when somebody sue your ass for saying something that's slanderous without said proof, guess what? You're gonna have to cough up that money on. But when you got no money on that, people know they got barely got two nickels to rub together. They could barely pay rent. What I'm going to get? I'm into paying my lawyer for what? For what? See what happened when 50 Cent sued Thierry Marie? He won his 30K. He said he still didn't get his 30K because she don't got it. She don't got it. He didn't pursue it even more, but if she had it, she would have had to run that. That's how that works. So, you know, again, when it comes to documentaries, people could put it together and say anything doesn't mean it's true, but they tell their side. But the beautiful thing about documentaries, if it makes some money, it will get sued. So that's a whole nother thing in itself. So don't be surprised if it made some money with Netflix. Oh, the state is coming for that ass, especially if there are things that are slanderous. If there's things that play around the word and the wording, then then it won't get sued. That's a beautiful thing about words. It's a beautiful thing about spells, right? We learn spelled words. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next. Where we at? Okay, so moving on to our next segment, our must see segment. I'm giving out 3 Eddie Murphy awards to 3 movies that y'all gotta tap into. They're very interesting. Two is very, very interesting. And the third one to me is a classic that you have to see. And it's amazing that we live in the day that we live in, and majority of people haven't seen these movies that I have requesting y'all to see. All right, so my first Eddie Murphy award goes to a movie that came out 2006, directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Thortu. This movie stars Brad Pitt, Kate Blanchett, Reno Kucha, and Gail G. Barner. This movie is called Barbell. Gotta tap into this movie. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's about different individuals and they're showing their different lives simultaneously and how it comes to watch the rest of the movie. Like I said, I won't spoil it for y'all. My second Eddie Murphy award goes to a movie that came out in 1979. This movie still holds up the way it looks and the whole nine. A very interesting movie. Came out in 1979, directed by Richard Fletcher. This movie stars Michael Caine. Y'all know Michael Caine for playing Alfred in Batman Rises, that Alfred, right? So that's Michael Caine. So this movie stars Michael Caine in his younger years, Peter Ostavo, the beautiful Beverly Johnson, and Kobe Beatty. This movie is called Ashanti. Very interesting movie, and it's low key triggering as well too. This is the type of movie that lets you know that cinema back in that early 80s, 70s, they were just doing stuff. Didn't care, nothing. And it's a must see movie. Again, this is about a young couple. I won't say young couple, but this is about a couple going to Africa doing missionary work, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for y'all. Third and final Eddie Murphy Award goes to a movie that came out in 1994, directed by Eric Misner. This movie is highly star-studded. Christopher Reed, Christopher Martin, Chris Tucker, Bernie Mac, Marcus Houston, Angela Means. I know Angela Means for playing Felicia in Friday. Candy Alexander, Tisha Campbell, and it's really too many people. Like it's literally like 10 more famous, like really famous people in this movie. I'm just not gonna name everybody. This movie is called House Party 3. Comedy, funny, classic movie. Um, This one is about kid getting married, and I won't spoil it. So make sure y'all tap into House Party 3. So again, my three Eddie Murphy awards go to the movie Barbell, Ashanti, and House Party 3. Make sure y'all tap into those movies. They had to cut out all. Hold on, shout out to Patrick. Hit them likes at the 100, y'all. So I missed a couple. So all right, so cool. Yeah, they had all types of rooms. Ashley, Donna Summers was in there. Every superstar was in. About Club Studio 54, right? Yes, all the stars was in there back in the 70s. All the stars was in there. Facts. They had to cut all that out. The movie I had because they weren't allowed to talk about that case. Okay. Okay, like so about Michael Jackson. Yes. Yeah, okay. So you're saying they cut all of that out in documentaries, what you're saying. See, and that's my thing about if they do a movie about Michael Jackson or the part two, you gotta include the good with the bad, so that way you could speak on the facts, what they was trying to say, meaning like the government or the FBI or these kids, and what actually happened, right? And that's the beautiful thing about biopics. That was the beautiful thing about What's Love Got to Do with It. Ray, Straight Outta Compton, uh, goodness gracious, it's so many great biopics, mainly because you show their, what made them be what they was, which they missed in the Michael movie in the first one. They showed their absolute greatness, and then they showed what happens in reality, the people that live in reality. But then you show the truth of it. And when you're trying to avoid it, it makes it seem like you're trying to hide something. So they gotta show it, in my opinion. You rap live. Not all the time. Not all the time. Shout out to Cog in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit the likes, hit the 100s. Yeah, I mean, I don't do it often. When I feel like doing it, I do a little shop. But I appreciate you for tapping in, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next one. I'm giving y'all three Michael Jackson awards. Talking about Michael Jackson's, and the reason why I choose Eddie Murphy for movies is, to me, Eddie Murphy is the pinnacle actor, the most important actor that we've had in this generation. Can't argue with me on that, because without him, we wouldn't have the actors that we have now. Yeah, Michael Jackson is the same thing. Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. My favorite artist of all time is R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Michael McDonald, Jay Z, Mary J. Blige, DMX. Those are my favorites of all time. Prince. Those are my favorites of all time in any genre. And I can't forget Anita Baker. Oh my God, Anita Baker. Prime Anita Baker, dog. Her note game was just on a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? So those are some of my favorite artists of all time. But Michael Jackson is him. So my three Michael Jackson awards goes to three fire songs. And then I do a profile artist, whether they new or old, hip hop or R&B. My profile artist, I'm a double back. I'm a double back with his sister Janet Jackson. So my three must-have songs on her playlist. Number one, Rhythm Nation. Number two, Anytime, Any Place. If you know, you know. Number three, I Get Lonely. Fire must-have songs on your playlist by Janet Jackson. Fire. She just OD fire to me, man. Like her songs is fire. And I was listening to a Janet Jackson song the other day, and I was like, yo, she took this from Mike. She took that from I could see her be like, yo, Mike, let me get this, bro. Like, damn, you done got like all the hits. Let me get this one right here, B. And mind you, Janet got mad hits too. But this particular song, I was like, yo, she jacked that from Mike. So me personally, and the song that I'm talking about is Go Deep. If y'all know the song Go Deep. I was like, yo, she jacked that from Mike, cause that sound like some Mike would do. So again, my 3 Michael Jackson award goes to the songs by Janet Jackson. Again, number 1, Rhythm Nation. Number 2, Anytime, Any Place. And number 3, I Get Lonely. So again, make sure y'all put those 3 songs on y'all playlist by Janet Jackson. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know we're about to book those flights. Send them to Turkey or no. Send them to Turkey or no. Y'all know the rules of the game. We type in T to send it to Turkey, or we type in N not to send it to Turkey. When people say do crazy things in the chat, we either send it to Turkey or we don't. All right, y'all. First one of the night. We've been talking about them damn near the whole show. Canceled watch party for Knicks. Excuse me. Watch party for Game 3 of the Knicks have been canceled because our president, Donald Trump, will be in attendance at Game 3 for the Knicks. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Why says Game 4? Is it Game 3 or Game 4? He's going to be in attendance for one of them. I believe it's Game 3. Let me just double check. Donald Trump. I could have sworn it was Game 3. Yeah, it's saying Game 3, so I'll probably put Game 4 by accident. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. The Knicks is canceling their watch party outside for Game 3 because the president of the United States will be in attendance. Supposedly, he will be sitting courtside, and that's why they shutting down the watch party. Obviously for security measures. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending this to Turkey or not? Are we sending this to Turkey or not? Again, let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type it in not to send it to Turkey. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Me personally, I got to send this to Turkey. I said this before. The Knick fan base is a rabid fan base. And the reason why I don't like the Knicks having outrageous prices for the Knicks game is because it prices most rabid Knicks fans out, which means you lose the home court advantage. Because let's keep it real, it's going to be live for sure, but these are casual fans that go forward these ticket prices in New York. People who are real rabid New York fans can't really afford those prices, so you're not going to have a stadium full of crazy people, which would help the Knicks emotionally, right? So the fact that you don't have that energy outside or right outside the building, I should say, at that big, the big gathering that they do, at on the outside, that's going to be completely canceled because the president's safety is important. So me personally, I still have to send it to Turkey regardless, mainly because the team loses their advantage. You got to have the rabid fans somewhere to give the team that energy. So again, I got to send this to Turkey, in my opinion. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Um, so shout out to fam, shout out to Ebony, shout out to King P in the building. Uh so I'm seeing T, so y'all send it to Turkey. Ash, don't say that, please. No, I have to be honest when I say that. Like, again, they said the average ticket to get in the game in the nosebleed section starts at $500. They're saying to sit in the floor seats that start at 250,000 just for floor seats. So when they say it starts at 250, you're gonna have floor seats that's like next to the players. Those tickets are going to go for 500,000. That's why. That's why you're seeing a Donald Trump at the game because he can afford those tickets. Majority of the fan base, they're not rabid fans. The people who could really afford those tickets, they're not rabid fans. Gotta be honest. Shout out to Ruin 12, my dog Ruin 12. Yo, I'm in Mexico. Ash, that's what's up. Cancun, you know what I'm saying? Hope you have a good time. Be safe. And I appreciate you tapping in. My dog Ruin 12, one of our day ones, man. One of our mods in the building. Appreciate him for tapping in. Don't forget, hit the likes and the 100s. That helps with the growth of the show. My dog fam, send this to Turkey with no return. The president should not, they should be able to have a fan base Uh, they should be able to have a fan base to what they want to do. They can do whatever they want to. Basically, they can do what they want to do. Yeah, but again, what's the purpose of having home court advantage for the finals? You looking for the advantage of the crowd. You looking for that. It matters. It matters. So I you know what would be dope? You know what would be dope? If the Knicks said, okay, we're gonna get all the money we could get for game 3. Game 4, let the tickets be affordable so that the rabid ass fans that go crazy for real come for game 4 to give their team that support and that energy. That's what I really believe that. If you a real Knick fan and you can't afford those Knick tickets, yo, you're better off like realistically paying about $150 or $200, take a flight to San Antonio, pay $1,200, and you get you a good seat for 1,200. Then to try to get in, at the Knicks game. Seriously, I'm dead serious when I say that. You better off doing that. Maybe next time, you and you a mod, bro. You a mod, Room 12. You a mod, bro. Remember you say you weren't gonna say stuff when I make you a when I made you a mod, right? You a mod, bro. All right, y'all hit the likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. So he said, send them all to Turkey. No turkey. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I just believe that sports is for true. I mean, as a homie. Oh, all right, cool. All right, cool. All right, cool. Because you know the track record. You know the track record. So I had to make sure. You know what I'm saying? Had to make sure. You know what I'm saying? As my homie. You know what I'm saying? But damn, I lost my train of thought. But at the end of the day, majority of the people, in my opinion, at the finals, game 3, that go forward them expensive ass tickets, they all looking for that look. They looking for the look. I just don't believe they true Knick fans. Because when they was terrible, they wasn't at the game. When they was terrible, they wasn't at the game. I didn't see Tracy Morgan at no Knick game until they got good. Until they got good. Oakley was still showing up. Of course, Spike was still showing up. Like real Knick fans were still showing up. I believe. Now, Fat Joe was showing up to them Knick games. You know what I'm saying? Most people that can afford those Knick tickets ain't real Knick fans. The real fans is outside, and when you don't have that energy around your building, it does affect the game. I don't know if I could spend more than 500 on a ticket. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people in New York. Again, listen to what I'm saying. To sit in the nosebleed section, that starts at 499, 500. To get a good seat, somewhat good seat, you're around the $4,000 to $10,000 range for like a decent seat, I should say. Floor seats start at 250,000. That's the start. Floor seats. And of course, you have box seats, which is another 6 figures. And then there's upper echelon of floor seats. The upper echelon of floor seats, that's at 495. So you basically spending 5K. Basically, because there's taxes to it. So 10K for a ticket, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money for a ticket. That's what I'm saying. Most people who are real fans of the Knicks that can't afford, I will not say can't afford, most people can't afford that ticket. But most people that don't want to, who can't do that, yo, you better off flying to San Antonio. The flight will cost you about like 200. The actual ticket is about like $1,200. And it's the finals. 1,200 is still a lot of money. 1,200 is a lot of people rent. But if you can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just pros and cons here. So I'm just saying. But I honestly think this is absolutely whack that they would cancel the watch party for the real Knick fans to support the team. I do understand the fact that, they have to keep the president safe. I do understand the fact that there's been several attempts on his life. There's always been some sort of uh, gun activity going on around the president for a multitude of reasons or whatever the case may be. So I do understand that, and the traffic would traffic on 34th Street, 6th Avenue, dude. It gets critical. It gets critical. Now you're gonna have the president in the vicinity and at MSG. That's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild because if he's planning to sit at the floor, you're gonna have security all over the place. You're gonna have so much security in there. You're gonna think it's just like regular fans. It's actually Secret Service. You know what I'm saying? He doubling like that's his job. Like to act like he not a Secret Service agent. It's gonna be flooded. So, but I get that. But it's not about the president's safety. It's about the Knicks. It's about their moment and them receiving all the support that they need. Bro, 10K is a mortgage payment on a nice house. 10K on a nice house, man. Man, I know houses that are 400,000. That's not a 10K mortgage. If you got a 10K mortgage, you own like a $2-3 million home with bad credit. I'll tell you that right now, for sure. 10K. Woo. Maybe for New York. Maybe somewhere in New York, some people are paying that type of amount for, that mortgage. But I'm thinking with places that are valued to buy houses, Florida, obviously Texas, and those type of places are valued to buy houses. It's even better to go upstate New York than actually buy a house in New York City. You know what I mean? But I digress. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next. Send them to Turkey or non. Send them to Turkey or non. Delta Airlines offered 30K in a proactive compensation to every passenger who was aboard the Minneapolis to Toronto plane crash. Delta flight 4819, which flipped upside down, burst into flames at the Toronto Pearson International. And luckily, nobody was harmed, meaning that nobody lost their life. Everybody was able to walk away with their life. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending Delta Airlines to Turkey or not for offering the people 30K in a proactive compensation due to the crash and them surviving? So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, 30K as a compensation and I survived a crash. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up this 30K Monday, but come Friday, I'm gonna need the rest of my cash, dog. Now they did say proactive. So what that means is this is just money. So whatever that you lost, whatever that you have at value, this is what we're giving you. This does not mean that you cannot pursue further compensation if you choose to take the airline to court or some sort of big measure on obviously surviving a damn plane crash that flipped and burst into flames. He said low key nah, so you're not sending it to Turkey. The plane exploded and no one got injured, bro. I just take 30K. And see, I'm not mad at that. But I'm a see, all right, cool. That's what I'm saying. Cool. I'm gonna pick up my 30K today, right? But come Friday, I'm gonna pick up the rest of the money. So I'm not saying this 30K ain't okay today, but just know if your boy Ash is in a plane crash, God forbid, I hope I'm not, because that wouldn't be good. That would not be good. But if I survived one, plane flip, burst into flames, and I survived, oh, for sure, y'all looking at the new big donor at Michigan. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna turn Marvel into Ash or something. Like, it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. It ain't gonna say Delta Airlines. It's gonna say Ashley Airlines out this mug. It's going to take a lot to get your boy right. It's going to take a lot. So me personally, and again, but this is just a proactive measure. So again, most people when they travel, they don't have 30,000 in value, right? Most people, most, right? But some people do, obviously, watches, jewelry, certain items that are personal carry on. Some people carry cash. When you come from certain states, let's say you come from states that do sports gambling, if you have over a certain type of cash and you have six figures, they report that because, yo, you got a lot of cash on you, bro. And we got to make sure that everything is everything. So if you had that type of cash and we give you just a little 30K, that's not going, you know what I mean? That's not going to hold too well. So again, it's proactive. And it's not to say that you can't come later on to get your money on for more. So y'all not sending it to Turkey. I'm seeing that in the chat. Y'all cool. Y'all cool with the 30K. The plane exploded. No more. No one got injured. Bro, I'll just take my 30K. The fact that everyone got out, upside down burning cabin, severe winter weather is nothing short of a miracle. Huge respect to that crew. Shout out to my bro, Biggs. He says CEO LOL. Bro, 30K and no injuries. I'm gonna start taking multiple flights and keep taking the 30K. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. For me, what it would take. See, wouldn't you wouldn't you be like emotionally scarred after a plane crash? And so even and surviving it, like you survived. You did walk away with no, you walked away with your life. But wouldn't you be emotionally like, yo, like on edge? Cause I would think that all right, the 30K is the 30K, right? And I would think that they would say something like, yo, you get lifetime free flights and a first class. So and you priority. So if you need to take a flight from here to whatever, you get first class and you priority. Even if somebody paid for their joint, we're gonna bump them for you, baby. But when you have some sort of like just scarcity of taking further flights even after surviving, you know what I'm saying? That's like you damn near drowning, right? And the cruise line is like, yo, our bad. You feel me? Our bad. But yo, we're gonna be doing more cruises after this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our insurance take care of all this. Yo, for the rest of your life, dog. Yo, you can take more cruises. Hold up, but almost drowned with y'all cruise, and I get lifetime. Like, am I making sense when I say that? Like, you feel me? So I would think that they would, or maybe a lifetime, and first class on another airline that doesn't have a record or the propensity to crash. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we could be talking, and then I need a figure that starts it starts somewhere in the M's. Like you know what I'm saying? It got a seven-figure notion to it. You know what I'm saying? It's somewhere in the seven figures for me. And my last one, it gotta be tax free. It gotta be tax free. That 30K better be tax free. I better not get a 1099 at the end of the year. I better not. That other money I'm coming to get, oh, that gotta be tax free though, dog. I'm just saying. Tax free. Everything tax free. If I'm gonna get a lifetime supply of flights, first class, I'll take another airline. Y'all pay for my joint with another airline, and it's priority. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think it would just get crazy. Facts. You talk about he said facts, emotional damage, LOL, stock options. Yeah, like all that. I need all that. You know what I'm saying? I need all that. All that. Like I'm emotionally scarred. I'm gonna be taking trains for the rest of my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Bro, Ash, give me 30K and I forget all about the all kind of trauma. You say that now, because you just thinking about the 30K. 30K ain't a lot of money after you done survived a plane crash. It rolled over and it burst into flames. 30K ain't. Now 30K is cool when somebody just giving you 30K. But to be all the way in the air and y'all crashed, that wasn't planned, dog. That wasn't a part of your Thursday. And the 30-day is cool. No, the 30-day cool on Monday. But come Friday, I'm gonna pick up the rest of my money. That's how that 30K gonna go. I'm just saying, that's how that for me is gonna go. So they said no strings attached. The Delta Care team, the representatives have confirmed the money is just goodwill advance and does not require passengers to give up any rights to sue or seek further compensation later. So that was the no strings attached of the 30K. Now, aviation experts also consider that the protective payout should also be very generous. So they're basically trying to stay ahead. So the 30K is cool. And if they want to keep the number lower, they're going to come out and say, hey, this is 30K on Monday. We want to put this to rest. We're glad that you're alive. Yeah, we got 4 million for you today. Opposed to taking us to court, you could get this 4 mil today. I'm just saying. But if you go to court, you could probably get some out. I'm just saying. But that's what they're basically going into. Safety and survival. So all 76 passengers, 4 crew members survived the crash. 21 passengers were treated for injuries, but was released from the hospital later on. So yeah. So that's how that's gonna. That's how that is. Making its way. So at the end of the day, 30K good for Monday. Come Friday, oh yeah, Ash gonna pick up the rest of his money, dog. Yeah, the rest of my money, dog. I need that cash. Well, not cash. I get the point that I'm making. Tax free. And that's just my payout. Not to mention, I'm gonna need some money to get help that I need. The trauma, I gotta go sit down and speak with somebody with this. I got anxiety now. I'm not gonna spend my compensation on getting me help. Y'all pay for the help. See what I'm saying? That's how that work. Oh, your boy Ash about his business. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that work. Just me personally. Me personally. So yeah. So me personally, can I send it to Turkey? I mean, I can, and I'm going to because yeah, 30K is cool. This is just a good nature, cool. I take that, cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. But come Friday, yeah, I had the rest of my money, and it better be tax free. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna send it to Turkey for now, and later on I'm gonna reserve the judgment. Me personally, bro, I'm gonna ask for 30K, tax free, in a private jet. Nah. See, that's what I'm saying. See, you think you're too small, bro. You think you're too small. The 30K cool for Monday. Private jet. Who the pilots? You know what I'm saying? That's my question. Is the pilots got any connection with y'all? What type of plane parts this use? This private jet? Is this a subsidiary? Yeah, nah. Y'all gonna have to give me another, another airline situated with it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm gonna be the pilot. Bro, I thought you wasn't trying to crash. You still trying to crash. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. It's about that time, and let's get with it. Send them the turkey or no. Send them the turkey or no. You already know. Send them the turkey. This segment's brought to you by Button Snap, so you get to find us some movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button. Hyphenated sign snaps.com. Again, the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night in Time to Rap. Masters of the Universe. My review on Masters of the Universe. Um, yeah, man, y'all know when it comes to me in these movies, man, that shit was ass, bro. I'm joking, I'm lying. It was fire. It was fire. My review of the Masters of the Universe. This is not a spoiler. This is just a review. Uh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Entertaining. The graphics was amazing, and the acting was on point. The acting was on point. It was a bit goofy at times. That's probably my only critique of the movie. We don't need another Deadpool. I'm not even a big fan of Deadpool because the jokes don't be landing. But Deadpool, if you take out all the whack ass jokes, is actually a good watch. But this one, if you was ever a fan of the He-Man or the Masters of the Universe cartoon, this was perfect. Because if you was a fan of that, y'all know that the Masters of the Universe was kind of goofy at times. But the movie in itself was really good. This was a really good live action. I really enjoyed it. This is the type of movie I would actually watch more than 2 or 3 times. I could watch this over again. It was a good movie. It was a real good watch, entertaining, great acting. The job by Nicholas Gilizon, he plays He-Man, right? He plays Prince Adam, aka He-Man. He did a really good job as well. Jared Leto as Skeletor, he was cooking. Skeletor looks amazing, by the way. The design, everything in the movie, but his depiction of it was fire. I'm talking fire. He bodied that. He was cooking. He was cooking. Idris Elba, his role as man at arms was amazing as well too. Camilla Mendez as Tila, amazing. She did an amazing job as Tila as well. Again, the acting was really on point. The script, it leaned a bit into the goofy. I'm not a big fan of the goofy, me per se, and the way that Skeletor looked, I didn't want to see the goofy because he looked too gangster. But the movie in itself was actually a great watch, entertaining. The fights was really good as well too, and I will watch this again. So make sure y'all tap into the Masters of the Universe if you haven't seen it already. The reviews have been mixed, though. I will say that. I will be honest. The reviews have been mixed, but again, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But to me, it was a good time. It didn't feel like a long movie. The story was great. The way they foundation did the foundation of it was great, and this I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and if they make more, which I do believe that they will, this is a great foundation, and they have a way and there's a space to make it even better. Me personally, my only suggestion is don't make it too goofy. I hate the type of jokes, and this is why I fall with Deadpool. It's like you're trying to make me laugh instead of just being funny. That's two different things. So if it's just funny, then I'm gonna mess with it. But when you're trying to make somebody laugh, and it's this He-Man, it's like nah, bro. Like, but if you was a fan of the comics, it did lean into the goofy. But It is what it is. But if you haven't seen it, make sure y'all go tap in. I was having the struggles this weekend because I was like, should I go see that? Should I go see scary movies? Should I go see back rooms? And when I seen the reviews for scary movie, not one person said scary movie was good. Not one. So that made it easier for me to see Masters of the Universe. I'll probably go see Backroom probably sometime this week. And I'll probably see Scary Movie 6, you know, on the bootleg or something. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, that is what it is. I'm going to still support the movie, but I'm just not going to go to the theaters to see it. Because I'm going to be mad to spend $25 to go to the theaters and the movie's ass. I'm going to be upset. So, I'm going to still support, but, you know. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Shout out to the chat. I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna start training on a pilot simulator. Talking about the flight. Shout out to Room 12. It was an old cartoon. Yeah, it was a fire cartoon. It was a fight. So if you're a fan of, G.I. Joe, Transformers, all of these are old cartoons. All of these. And they make fire movies. This one was good. X-Men is an old cartoon. Fire movies, right? Well, they got some good and some was just terrible. But when they ventured into the Avengers and stuff, the Iron Man, these are old cartoons that came out in the 60s, 70s. So I mean the cartoons in itself, but there's pre-existing shows of Aquaman and Batman and all of these are old, but yeah, it's a must see. I'll say Masters of the Universe is a must see. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. Shots ring out at Ohio Festival. Two shooters uh, was getting down. They don't believe that they was necessarily looking for anybody in particular. They believe that the two shooters were shooting at each other. 12 people was shot. Two is in in a critical way right now. But they have no one in custody, which is crazy. And this just happened uh, yesterday at Toledo Fest or Ohio Fest. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, shots ring out at Ohio Fest or Toledo Fest with two shooters. 12 people were shot, two critically hurt. No one's in custody. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. Too many times, regardless on any city, why can't a group of people get together, have a good time, listen to some music, have all the festivities, whether they're balloons, painting, great music, just stuff festival stuff, right? You're patroning small shops. Why can't people just have a good time? Ice cream, funnel cake, whatever that's there at the damn festival. Why the festival is there in the community to make people or give people a good time, something to do, and it's supposed to be positive, and it's supposed to be for everybody, older, younger, supposed to just be a good time. How do that result into shots ringing out? People just don't know how to be, and that shit is so scary. And these are the type of things where people really get hurt because people let their guard down at a festival. Most people don't go to festivals tooled up with their peace to make sure that their family is safe. This is supposed to be a place of peace and a place where people can have a good time, let their hair down, and do all types of stuff. So I just don't understand it. I just don't get it how this type of thing can happen, and it's not easy to recognize the two idiots in the room because these are two idiots. I don't care how young they are, I don't care how old they are. If you're at a festival and shots ring out, especially when everybody else have nothing to do with your beef, it's idiotic. And these type of people don't need to be in society. I hope they catch these people with the quickness. The fact that they don't have nobody in custody is crazy to me. But I hope they catch these fools with the quickness because these type of people do not need to be in society. It's scary and it's crazy and it can hurt you, your kids, or anybody else's kids. and their people. So at the end of the day, I hope they catch these people real quick. This is crazy. It's just by and large, we see this all the time. Whether it's in New York, whether it's in Florida, whether it's in Ohio, whether it's in California, Chicago, it goes on and on. Why people just don't know how to act, especially in places where it's supposed to be positive. I can understand if everybody came here to go to war, but this is a festival. Supposed to hear great music, supposed to have food, have people being vibrant, balloons, kids, all types of stuff going on at the festival. And this is what you do to get a t-shirt. Get the festival t. That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be all positive things at the festival. And I just think it's super duper whack when people get there and don't know how to act, in my opinion. Shout out to Ebony in the building. She said, two idiots having a petty dispute completely ruined a community event and 12 innocent bystanders. The lack of respect, human life in our neighborhoods is just exhausting at this point. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Shout out to you. Hit the like, sure, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show, but I agree with that wholeheartedly. My sentiments exactly. Like, and when you're a family person, right? When you're a dad, your uncle, your big brother, you want a place where your family could go and have a good time, let their head down. It's a Saturday, it's a Sunday, and you got two idiots just ruining for everybody else. Like, and then the crazy thing is, they don't even know why they shooting at each other because what they don't like each other. They have beef. They don't like each other's sneakers. They from a different block. They wear different color. All petty shit. All things that really don't matter. All these things they don't know what to live for, so they're willing to die for anything. And the fact that you got two idiots and you can't find them, that says something about the Toledo Police Department. I will say that you can't have people like that on the loose in your environment. You got to pack them up. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. Washington D.C., Georgia have the highest rates of HIV diagnoses per capita. The United States, while Texas and California record highest overall in volume and new cases. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, Washington, D.C. and Georgia have the highest rates of HIV diagnoses per capita in the United States, while Texas, California record the highest overall in volume of new cases. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And if it's your first time tuning in and tapping in, again, I'm Ashley Lovechild, Kenner Brothers Get a Rap Podcast, episode 266. And if you want to catch me outside of here, Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. I'm Ashley Lovechild on everything, so make sure y'all tap in. But yeah, this was very interesting. And I tell people this all the time. When you talk about STDs, researchers and the numbers say 1 out of 4 adults either carry herpes or HSV1, HSV2, so herpes, or HIV. And this is going on in places where you have a heavy urban area. And when I mean urban, I mean obviously underserving, whether you're poor white or poor brother, either way. But it's hitting these communities by and large. But my thing is this: why the stigma of sex? Why is this so unaccountable? Unaccountable? Because, in my opinion, all of this is due to accountability. If you're old enough to have sex and you do have sex, you're accountable for everything that comes with it, both positive and negative. You're accountable. Nobody, for the most part, people do get forced into it, but y'all get the point that I'm making, right? People are choosing to have unprotected sex. People are choosing not to have the conversation. People are choosing to do things that are not beneficial in preventative measures of protecting themselves and the person that you're dealing with. It is just so taboo to have these conversations, whereas it becomes a bit overwhelming that most people don't even have the real sex talk before they engage into sex because they don't want to ruin the moment or they don't want to call the other person dirty, opposed to just protecting each other. There's people that engage in sex with people that does have HIV, that does knowingly have herpes, and they do it because they have the history of the person. They really like this person, and even though there's a risk, they take preventative measures because they really want to be with this person. But this person have this, this disease. But at the end of the day, if we're scared to have the conversation, how can we hold you? How can you be accountable if you can't even have the conversation? That's why I don't. I honestly see there is a big deal when people have sex and abort children. You made the decision to have unprotected sex, and even when you had sex protected and the condom pop, right? Because that does happen. Uh, sometimes you fill her up and something dribbles over and somebody gets pregnant still. That happens, but it's still a negate. It's still a part of sex that can happen. So if we know this can happen with or without a condom, then you have to be accountable for what happens, both good or bad. So all this is avoidance of a real conversation. When you think of DC, you think of brothers. When you think of Georgia, Georgia's a red state, so it's very mixed. But Georgia, you have a lot of brothers in Georgia too, especially in certain areas of Georgia. So when you hear these things, conversation is not being had. When you think of Texas, think of Texas. There's cities in Texas is heavy. There's a lot of brothers. It's a lot of, and it's not just the brothers. It's undeserving neighborhoods. Meaning, there's a lot of poor whites out there. There's actually more white people on welfare than it is brothers. That's a fact. Go look it up. So all undeserving neighborhoods, I won't say undeserving, but underserving neighborhoods, excuse me, are being affected by this. It is not just having lack of resources, it's having the lack of conversation and not being accountable. And we talking about places like Texas and California. Now they also said most impacted metropolitan area on a city level is actually Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, Georgia, and Memphis, Tennessee. And even though there's cities like there's places in Mississippi as well. I believe Mississippi is one of the highest period, but we're talking about, metropolitan cities. We don't think of Mississippi as a metropolitan type of city, right? But Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, Memphis, Tennessee, these are metropolitan areas. And they said this had the most impact. So even though they don't have the most cases, but basically, let's say you have 30 people, and within this 30, 26, right? And you multiply that, over and over again, and that's basically what they're saying when they say most impacted areas. Um, we could defeat this shit, y'all. We could defeat this shit. Seriously. If we have the conversation, if we do the preventables, and we engage in safe sex activity. And that doesn't void it all, because the true void is not having it. We're going to throw that shit out the window because it's going to get cracking up around here, right? But you got to accept accountability, both good and bad. So why lean on the bad when you could do the preventables? take preventable medicine or medication or whatever, right? Or not or and have the conversation. When's the last time you've been tested? Let's go get tested together. And if we are dealing with something, we would deal with it together. So have the conversation. I just find it quite interesting. People say they so accountable and they so grown and they can't have the conversation about something that we all love to do. I mean, let's keep it real. Like, who don't like having sex? Like, you know what I'm saying? So who don't? The only thing better than sex, honestly, is getting money and money that you didn't think you was going to get, like 30K. Like 30K with no clause. Like, yo, that's just yours. You know what I'm saying? That's yours right there. On a random day. Ain't nothing better than sex but new money that you didn't think you was gonna get. So have the conversation in all seriousness. And the rates is only gonna get higher. Think about that. 1 out of 4 adults either have HSV, there's gonna be HIV or herpes. 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4. So that means if you're at your barbecue, at your family barbecue, and there's 50 people in there, dog, it's going to get real in a heartbeat. So at the end of the day, have the conversation. Have the conversation. And they said the most infected age is 13 to 34. 13 to 34. If you create a taboo of the conversation at 13, you're not going to have the conversation at 30. Just saying. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Wrap. College football 2027 has been revealed. The game will be out soon. I believe within the month, actually. It will be out within the month. And hey, let's talk about it. The trailer was absolutely amazing, as most college football trailers are. Um, Coming back out in 2025, of course, from its hiatus from 2014 because they didn't want to pay the players. But now they got past all that, baby. Everybody makes some money on. Now 2027 is coming out. I'm looking forward to it because 2026, the biggest misnomer for me in 2026, it felt rush. It was a lot of kinks in the game, and it really pissed you off because people like we really love the college football franchise. At least me, it's actually my favorite video game. Period. It's my favorite video game. Period. And it has been my favorite video game since I was a kid. Since before college football. Actually, the real start off point was Bill Walsh college football. Yep. Then play action football. Then NCAA college football. So I've been playing this game since I was a child, and it's still amazing where you see it is now. So the trailer in itself was fire. One thing that really sparked my interest about the trailer is that they had Michigan versus Ohio State, right? Like they supposed to, right? We are the game, right? But they showed them coming out in the tunnel, and they showed Michigan and Ohio having beef in the tunnel at the game. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I'm excited. Just seeing that alone had me in the chokehold. I will say that. The cover in itself was a great cover. Of course, they had Coach Signetti on one. I didn't like that cover, not because he was on it. The cover just seemed really cluttery. Their final cover is with, I believe, the quarterback from Oregon, Malachi Tony, the receiver from Miami, and the running back, I believe, his name's slipping my mind right now. Lacey, the running back from Ole Miss. They're all on the cover and very well deserving. Very well deserving. But this looked like a fun game. I'm looking forward to playing it. They did say they redid Dynasty though, which is my favorite thing to do on college football is Dynasty. I will play my Dynasty for like 30, 40 years. I run through Dynasty so crazy. I gotta control like 4 teams because I can literally body a season in basically 2 days. So to slow myself down, I need about like 3 or 4 teams to control in my dynasty, so it'll take me longer to get through it. But they did say the blueprint has changed. So the flagship dynasty mode has been completely reworked. Players will earn dynasty points to upgrade the facilities. Now that's fire. So if you take a team, you get a team. Let's say you play with Kent State, and Kent State was a fun play. There was a fun play because Kent State got so many uniforms, and their uniforms is fire too. If you take a team like Kent State, it's not enough that you get them good, right? You want to upgrade the stadium. You want to add stuff to the stadium to make it feel like that, you're playing against Michigan or in Texas Stadium. You know what I'm saying? So one of those great stadiums. So they're saying that you could upgrade the facilities. They also added NIL deals, which is going to be so fun. I know I'm going to be pissed off. I know I'm going to be upset during the recruiting, putting all this energy out there for a recruit, just to tell me that he's going to choose Penn State or Oregon over the team that I'm controlling. So I'm looking forward to that actually because I always start off with a bad team and I work my way up to Michigan. So if I turn Fresno State into a powerhouse and Michigan come knocking, I always be like, "Yo, Fresno, it was cool, yeah, like it was cool, but I gotta roll with my squad." So they added NIL deals. That also helps hiring staff. So it's basically mocking. I won't say mocking, but it's a real representation of real life. Smaller schools will face realistic financial stress and uphill climbs compared to a powerhouse program like your Michigans, your Ohio's, your Texas, your Alabamas. So yeah, so those financially stripped schools. So that means you're not going to have as much in the recruiting budget, NIL budget, and your facilities dog is going to be lackluster, and you got to build that up. Shout out to my dog CC. Appreciate you for tapping in, my dog. Hit them likes, hit the 100. You already know it helps with the growth of the show. Ash, my bro Ash, Michigan Gear, looking tough. Appreciate that. You already know. As always, remember y'all hit them likes, hit the 100s. That helps with the growth of the show. Also, they said the massive coverage overhaul they did for the defense, which was they couldn't have what they had for 2026 when it came to the defensive coverage for this game. 2025, in my opinion, couldn't get any better. And in 2026, it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? 2025 was popping. All y'all had to do was build on that. 2026, when it came to the covering the receivers, linebackers, when that ball is in the air, it just wasn't smart AI play on defense. It was always doing something goofy, and it was designed for offenses. It was designed for teams not making any real stops, and it just wasn't realistic. When the ball is in the air, your linebacker or your corner is right there, and they can't jump for the ball. So I'm glad that they rehauled that and it's smarter defensive upgrade play and AI play for the defense. So they adapted zone coverages, man to man, logical inside red zone defense, better double team defense, AI awareness is a must. So I love that. So I love that they have rehauled that as well. They also mentioned that there's a new game mechanics that's dedicated to the quarterback sneak meter. So basically, if you do quarterback sneaks and you don't be in line with the meter, more than likely you're going to get stopped because it's timed off and it's going to be stopped. Road to Glory also had went through an expansion where their Road to Glory, a single player career, can add You can add different single players. Excuse me. You can add more positions to the my player now or the road to glory. Before it was just quarterback, running back, and I believe DB and linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. Now they've added tight end, edge. They added everything except for offensive line and defensive tackle, basically, which is going to be amazing. And looking forward to that as well. Customization. They also allowing your team builder team to play in Road to Glory if you want it. So they have it available for that as well. And they also brought back mascot matchups or mashups. Me personally, I've never been a fan of the mascot game. We could have done without it. I'm not a fan of that. I don't, I know they listen to the fans. A lot of people probably wanted the mascot game, but most people who play college football, the game in itself, don't give a damn about the mascot game. I'm just going to be honest with you. Going to be honest. Nobody cares about that. But they did bring it back. I would have loved if they would have brought in a spring game than a mascot game. That's what I wanted them to do. We didn't need the mascot. Not like, come on. How many times people were really playing the mascot game? How many times? Me personally, we could have did without it, but people was calling for it. But I would love for them to put in a spring game in college football. I think that would be fire if they would have did that. Or even an all-star game. At the end of every season, you have your blue gray game or your senior bowl. I think that would be fire as well too, if they was to add that. But definitely a spring game would have been fire too. Um, and also, I think would be dope if they would have added a kicking meter, meaning like kicking can determine if you win or lose. So if your meter is behind the holder, then the ball goes, over his head or over on the other side where the defense could try to recover. I think that would be fire. It has to be right in the middle. If it goes all the way left or something like that, then then the snap would be off. If it's not in the middle but it's slightly off, then you miss the kick. Like I would make it, kind of fun with the kicking, so that way the kicking will also be something you have to pay attention to as well when you're playing. I think that would be a benefit of the game too. So they may mention they have access, 7-day access earlier on July 2nd will be available for the MVP membership. Also starting at 149 or is at 149. They have a 3-day early access on July 6th, which will be $100 for both the MVP. Excuse me, for I believe for both. No, that's the deluxe edition. Or you could do MVP bundle. Yeah, so that's for both. So or you could do the MVP the MVP bundle 150 for both college football and Madden 27. They also revealed Madden 27 as well. Madden 26, in my opinion, was great. I think this was probably the best Madden that they've done thus far for Madden 26, and I hope they don't change it too much for Madden 27. I thought Madden 26 felt like an NFL game. It felt like that. It was, to me, the best Madden that they've done was Madden 26. So I hope they didn't do too much for Madden 27, but they saying that Madden 27 is going to be another great one as well, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of college football. I may get both games just to get both games because Madden was actually good, so I may risk it and say, "Yo, just give me both as well." So I'm looking forward to it moving forward. So if you haven't seen the reveal, they do have them online. So make sure y'all check it out. The college football game has a huge following, almost as big as GTA. Uh, it's To me, it's almost like neck and neck in my opinion. Like most people that play like everybody plays GTA. Everybody. College football is for people that it's for guys. I ain't gonna hold you. Most guys that play college football, love a football game. They play college football. College football is very big amongst men. I don't see a lot of women playing college football, but I do see women playing GTA. So I would agree. I would agree. It's not as big overall as GTA, but it don't have to be because the people that play college football, it's serious. It's serious. Like college football, people that love college football, we get on that ass immediately if the game is not good. GTA players, they don't get on that ass. I mean, GTA, they do make a great game, but if something like y'all don't get on that ass immediately. College football, we relentless. It's a real following. Yeah, so I would say that that statement is valid. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to rap. Jay Z breaks records at Roots Fest. 80,000 fans at the Roots Fest or Roots picnic. I hate the word picnic because y'all know what that derives from, right? Pick a nigga, right? So that's how to get rid of picnic. We gotta start doing barbecue concerts. And the crazy thing is, they know where the root word comes from. Is the root comes from that, and they still use picnic. But anyway, Jay Z breaks record for attendance with 80,000 attendance fans at the Roots concert. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Love to know what you think. Shout out to y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been amazing. So me personally, I think this is absolutely amazing. Legends, and I say this all the time, legends are always relevant. They're always needed into the space. Jay-Z is a legend. He's a legend. He could do a show anywhere, and people will show up and show out. Don't let these old fools lie to you because they're on the outs. Don't let these old folks rewrite history because somebody done got their girl taken back in the day. Don't let them rewrite history. Jay-Z been selling out, always sold out, meaning concerts, always. Jay-Z is a part of one of the most successful hip hop concerts ever of all times. He's actually a part of a few, actually, and every city sold out. They got documentaries of it. So when people say, "Ain't nobody ever show up to no Jay Z concert," yeah, bro, that's a cap. Watch the hip hop documentary Backstage. Watch that. Back in the late '90s, where he's doing shows all over the USA, and it was packed. Let's not do that. Let's not rewrite history. Jay Z is a whole legend, and the fact that he was able to do this, hey man, I love this. I love it because at the end of the day, this helps real hip hop. When you have legends making their way, doing their thing, this helps everybody else. So I don't understand the hate because guess what? Especially for the active artists out here now, what you think is going to happen years from now? You're going to get older. We needed people to break down the doors and continue to uphold and have the standard of great music, whether you're a singer or whether you're a rapper. It doesn't matter either way, as long as you uphold the standard. So we have to uphold the greatness. When people don't like something and we in a different era, okay, I get it. You may not like it as much as this era, but this is still valuable. And we do that shit every era. And we dismiss the people that came before us as if like we came up with this shit all on our own. No, we did not. This all of this music has a foundation. All of it. Whether on and off stage. There's an art to selling tickets, there's an art to selling music, there's an art to all of this shit. Gotta give Jay-Z his props for doing this. People showed up and showed out. I know Yankee Stadium is going to be crazy. I know Yankee Stadium is going to be crazy. I've never seen Jay Z have terrible turnouts for his shows. Main reason why, because he's always made great music. I remember Jay Z had a B-side tour. He performed his B-sides. Y'all know what B-sides mean? That means not your best songs. People still showed up and showed out and supported because the music was still great. Doesn't matter if he's your favorite artist. Music is subjective anyway. Music is a cup of tea thing anyway. So Jay-Z may not be your cup of tea. Okay, cool. But there's 80,000 people at a damn festival that will say otherwise in one venue. In one venue. And not to mention, when most people have tours and shows of a Jay-Z's magnitude, they do more than one show in that area. And guess what? It's always sold out. So again, we got to stop trying to rewrite history because you got older folks that was around at the Jay-Z time. They're trying to rewrite history, saying things that are not true when there's documentation of it. You can go look it up. It's documentaries. Documentaries. Ain't nobody checking for that. Oh yeah? Oh. So who bought all them tickets? Who bought all those tickets? If Jay-Z was to have a show at Madison Square Garden, sold out in an hour. If he was to have a show at the Alamo, that's in Texas, y'all, sold out in an hour. If he had a show at Mercedes Benz, Atlanta, Georgia, sold out in an hour. I don't want to hear nobody from Georgia talk about, oh, they not going to support it because that's bullshit. Just like how New York support artists from Georgia as well. If you're great, and I hate this thing about the culture where we're so divided. Oh, you're not from here, so you're not going to sell out. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. When people are great and they make great music, people going to support it. So we got to stop with this notion where just because you don't like something, that doesn't mean it's not going to be successful because there's plenty of things that are successful that is ass. But it's quite funny how people try to make certain exceptions for certain artists that are clearly ass, but you still show up. And another thing about Jay-Z that I have to say is that, and I've said this before, and this is how you know Jay-Z is great. Every top tier lyricist in hip hop give Jay-Z credit. They say Jay is Hove. Jay gets busy. Jay is one of those ones, lyrically and musically. You never heard somebody who lyrically is up there say that Jay-Z is not. Your favorite rapper would say Jay-Z is him. But it's funny, your favorite rapper said Jay-Z is him, but you like, nah, he ain't him, nah, nah. When your favorite rapper has some sort of influence or been influenced some way, somehow by Jay-Z, whether that's musically or whether that's in career goals. So we got to stop with the rewriting and the revisionist history. So shout out to Jay-Z, 80,000 people, Roots Barbecue. I know it's not the barbecue, but I hate that picnic word because we know where it come from. But at the end of the day, man, again, shout out to Jay-Z. He killed it. And they've been saying, yeah, nobody care about Jay-Z. Nobody care about the 30th anniversary. Come on, we gotta stop. And this is why I like the fact that he hasn't said nothing in years until now. Like, shout out to Jay Z, man. Shout out to Jay Z, killing the game, always going to kill the game, a legend in the game. Shout out to Jay Z, man. Much needed into the culture, much needed. We needed that. We needed that. And the reason why we needed that was also one of the reasons why we did need the Michael Jackson movie, regardless if I felt like it was good or not. The reason why we need it because it reminds people of their greatness. I've seen ever since the Michael Jackson movie came out, it's been like the Michael Jackson awareness has been through the roof. people knew who Michael Jackson was, but you had some people that never seen this video. They heard like parts of a song, but they never really heard the video because of all the allegations. So they grew up in the era where Michael Jackson was older, facing all the allegations. So they never really tapped into the music. They was more hip hop heads. But now you really seen them like listen to it and really like, yo, I see why y'all love this dude. He could like Michael Jackson vocals on a whole nother level, dancing on a whole nother level, presentation on a whole level up on another level. So exposure matters because why? Greatness doesn't have a limitation. Greatness is always relevant. Legends is always relevant. They don't have to be current to continue to be legends. Legends can never be cold. Only people who are in fear of their spot say legends is cold. Legends are legends, dumbass. All right, y'all. Moving on to because I see, I'm telling you, I see some of the most outspoken people on social media that says, "Oh yeah, this legend's been cold and da da da." Hey, dumbass, it's a legend. They're a legend because of what they do, because of their talent, and you're speaking on it from your own agenda by knocking somebody down to boost your profile up when you don't have to do it. Because when you're great, you don't need to speak ill of other people because you're great. Being a truth teller is being a truth teller. When you're telling the truth, is not perspective based just by your agenda. Telling the truth is telling the good, the bad, the ugly, and being fair about what's being said and what happened. It has zero to do with your emotion. This is what happened. So I hate when I hear people say, "Oh, this legend is cold out here. This legend wasn't as big as that legend." And even if that legend wasn't as big as the other legend, right? Which could be true, right? This does not make them not a legend. This does not make them any less relevant. Legend. Legends are legends. Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been amazing. Oh, before I leave, I gotta talk about the Spurs NBA playoffs. Spurs versus the Knicks. We did speak about it a little earlier. The series is Knicks is winning the series right now, two up, well up in the series 2-0. A lot of the Knicks fans is hoping that that's a nice sweep and they could capture their third NBA title. I could be wrong, but I believe it's their third NBA title if they do win. If the Spurs come back and win the series, this would be, I believe, their seventh, if I'm not mistaken. But this will be a tall order for the Spurs to do that. But they're up 2-0. So, in my opinion, in order for the Knicks to win this series, one, they have to withhold all the emotions. They have to, and they have to focus on game three because game two could have went any way. Game one, they won that straight out. I mean, honestly, the Spurs was up by like 13 points. There was no way the Knicks should have came back and won that game, but they did. Game two, I thought that game was going to be a boat ride. I mean, the Knicks was up. San Antonio Spurs came back and won that game. The Knicks cannot allow the momentum and the emotion get too big. They can't do that. They have to focus and play for each other and within the system. They have to. It's imperative. They cannot let the Spurs win game three. They cannot. Cat, I said this before, he has to continue to play in the paint and he has to continue to battle with Wimby. Like I said before, he's not busting Wimby ass. They're battling. And people are like, yo, how do you figure that? Like he cooking, he killing. He's battling. He's scoring points, he's getting rebounds. Yes, but Wimby's doing the same thing. Wimby had what, 29 game two? He had what, another 27 in game one or 27 in game. No, he had like 30. I could be wrong, but he's in the high 20s is the point that I'm making in points. He's getting his rebounds. He's going to shot block. They're battling. That's what happens in sports, y'all. In basketball, if somebody scored 30 and the other guy scored 30, guess what? You're not busting their ass. You're battling. They are battling. Cat has to continue to battle. Cat actually has to play better than he did in game one and game two. And people are like, damn, Ash, he played pretty good. He did. He did play pretty good. But Wimby's going to play better. And in order for the Knicks to win, he has to match that energy. He has to match or be in the vicinity of Wimby's production. If Cat goes out there and scores 12 points, 8 rebounds, y'all losing automatically. He has to stay in distance in production. Next thing that the Knicks need to do is that their role players need to continue to ball out. I honestly believe because how they played in game one, game two, now playing at home, the expectation, see, they was playing with house money in the first two games, but that expectation to make them jump shots when everybody's watching and the lights are the brightest. The expectation. Now you got the president going to be at the game. And now you're not going to have the rabid fans inside to give you that extra energy to put you over the top. You got casual fans up in there that affording them damn tickets. The role players still have to play well. OG has to play well. Hart has to play well. Bridges has to play well. Have to in order for the Knicks to win. But they have to put all their eggs in game three. If they coast for game three, they're not coming back and winning game three. They're not. They're not doing that. I guarantee you this. If the Spurs go up, they will win the game. Even if the Knicks make a comeback, they will win the game. The Knicks have to put all their eggs in game three. Now for the Spurs got to get game three. Just count on that. They have to get game three to win the series. If they get game three, they would have brought it. They would have brought that emotion and that momentum all the way down. Because now game four becomes a must win. And if they don't win game four and playing in a must win when you're a role player, your shot the expectation. The expectation is different. Spurs have to win game three in order to win this series. They still can. They've been in every single game. They have to win game three. Their guard play has to be better. Castle has to be better. Fox has to be better. And Harper has been playing. He's been playing good off the bench. He really balled out in game one. Game two was all right, but he has to play better as well. There has to be a better presence in the post when Wemby goes off the court. When Wemby goes off the court, there has to be a better and I don't understand San Antonio. They got bigs on the bench. They got Bismarck on the bench who can be a low post presence defensively. You have Kelly on the it starts with an O. Y'all know what I'm talking. I'm gonna tear up his last name, but I know who he is. Kelly Olynyk. I hope I said that right. He's not necessarily a defender for real, but he is a body. He is a body. He can get you a couple rebounds, and he has no problem. I won't say no problem, but he can defend Cat. Whoa, hold on. He's not. He can't defend Cat. Yeah, I can see why. All right, so Bismarck, okay, and you still got Plummer over there too. Plummer has good defense. You still got bigs now. Kelly Olynyk is still a viable option on the offense because he's a big that could shoot. So just like how you will have Cat who could shoot on the outside, if you do put Kelly in, he will give you offense. It won't probably be much on defense, but he will give you offense. But in order for the Spurs to win, they have to have a better presence on defense in the paint when Wemby goes out, and those guards have to play better. They have to turn OG's defense into a weakness by using their quickness. But the thing is, OG is 6'8", 230, cat quick, and is long. So he's going to make it very difficult. The only way that you could really get OG out of his comfort zone is if Shan Penny hits some of those threes. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be absolute war tomorrow night because that's when the third game is happening. Is tomorrow night, game 3. That's going to be absolute war. In order for the Knicks to win this series, they have to win game 3. If they lose game 3, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. I'm telling y'all that right now. Buckle up because this will go to game 7 if they do lose game 3. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing, man. Shout out to the chat. A legend. He said a legend will live forever. Have a good night, Ash. Let's go, Knicks. My guy, man. Appreciate Patrick in the building, man. One of our day ones, one of my mods, man. When the team is up 2-0 in the finals, that team usually wins 92% of the time. Very true. Very true. But momentum is serious. And them other 8 times matter too. So, like I said, if the Knicks win game 3, they're gonna win the series. They're gonna win the series. If they lose game 3, buckle up. Buckle up. Buckle up. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snap, so you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. And remember, y'all, that's the word Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. People say, I can't find it. You got to put button, then hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, I want to thank OUV Records. Make sure y'all stay tuned and tapped in at OUV Records on Instagram. Stay tuned to music and merchandise. Again, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand up by being negative. That is a stain. Somebody that stands out or try to stand up by being negative. Have the ability to stand up by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here, man. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping in. I drop videos daily. So hit them likes, hit the 100s, leave comments, stay engaged. I've been seeing y'all comments and I do comments. So again, continue to engage. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, a little over 13. So again, continue to show love, share those clips, share those videos as well. We're on every Sunday and every Wednesday at 10:30. And I got nothing but love for y'all. And y'all already know, man. It's love. And I'm gonna see y'all this Wednesday at 10:30. I'm out.